Hello, and today I'm going to show you how to wire up and use a RGB LED with the Arduino. So first of all, with the basics of the Arduino, what we're going to want to do is set up a constant integer, which basically what that does is that causes this port 9 on the Arduino, to become this name. You could do this with anything, so like you could set port 9 to whatever you want it to. But you see, look, as I highlight that, you see where it's used throughout the code. And if you were to change the name of that, you have to change the name of all of these down here. But what a constant integer does is it means it's constantly checking to see what is happening at port 11. Meaning that port 11 is always being read as an integer for, right here, for red LED pin. Same thing with these right here. These are also ran as constant integers, but for different ports on the Arduino. Now, right here for the normal integers, what these are, this is setting it so their default is 0, but they can't change. Like right here, this is where it checks the serial port to change what it is by default. But default, all of these are here. Okay, then right here, this is another integer. So basically, this whole section up here sets up the integers that is used to then create the code that is used down here in the void setup. So once you get to the void setup, we use the serial ports that are being tracked on the photoresistors. This is the default number for the photoresistor. Right here, we're checking the pin modes for the green LED to output if the serial port, if the serial is reading this number right here. And we do the same thing for all of them. Then right here on the loop, we are running the loop to show that we're running a loop so that this will constantly be running this whole section up until the end of that bracket here, because you have to close your brackets. Same thing with all of these brackets to make sure that the inner stuff is read correctly. So then the red sensor value right here, this which we defined as 0 beforehand, will be used for the analog. It reads the analog value, then it gives the output of this depending on what it is. So this becomes the output based on that, because this is just an integer, and it reads what is coming in from the constant integer we set before. Then it delays, and then it does the next one, which is for the green, and so on for the blue. So what this is doing is this is checking the photoresistors which are connected to these ports here, causing them to in turn give the correct outputs. Then right here in the serial print section, what it does is it prints what is being read by the raw sensor values. And it does the same thing for the rest of these right here. But now, the sensors, what they do basically is the first one right here, this defines what's happening for the rest of these. But if you just look at this part, that part is the same in all of these. Because what it does is it's saying this is going to read out the red. Like, it takes the raw sensor values and it converts them to the name red. Then right here you say red becomes red value, and red value is defined up here as the integer. So depending on what the integer is, it changes what red output is. And it does the same thing for the rest of the LED ports. Now right here, where analog write happens, basically red pin to red value, what this does is whatever red pin is, then red value will also become that. And that is how the photoresistors change the color of the light.